Are you just starting out with After Effects and feeling like your videos aren't quite hitting the mark? Do they seem a bit too basic? Well, it's not your creativity that's lacking, it's your toolkit. Introducing the 25 basic effects in After Effects. These effects are the building blocks of professional-grade animations and videos. From the subtle nuances of a Gaussian blur to the fluid motion of wave warp, each effect is a stepping stone to unlocking your full creative potential. So, let's dive in and explore how each one can transform your work from basic to brilliant. This is how it looks before adding the drop shadow. Select the layer, go to Effects and Presets, and search for Drop Shadow. Double-click to add. The settings are straightforward. You can easily make adjustments to achieve the desired look. It adds depth and dimension to graphics and text, making them stand out against the background. Select the layer, go to Effects and Presets, and search for Gaussian Blur. Double-click to add. Simply increase the blurriness value to blur. Add a keyframe. Move the playhead forward. And change the value to 0 to reveal the object. Select both keyframes and press F9 to easy ease. Open the graph editor and drag the left handle to right. Select the layer, go to Effects and Presets, and search for Motion Tile. Double-click to add. Double-click the effect name, and it will open up in the Timeline panel. Increase the height to vertically create new copies of the object, and increase the width to horizontally create new copies. This is how you can repeat an object to make a pattern. By enabling the Mirror Edges option, each copy will reflect the original and subsequently mirror the adjacent copies. If you want to animate the rows, turn on the horizontal phase shift. Move the playhead forward, set a keyframe for phase, and increase the phase value. There you have a nice-looking animation. The Fractal Noise effect is a versatile tool used to create natural-looking patterns like clouds, fog, or water. To apply the effect, begin by creating a solid layer. I have already prepared two solid layers, one for the text and another for the shape. Select the layer, go to Effects and Presets, and search for Fractal Noise. Double-click to add. It generates a noise pattern that can be manipulated through various settings to achieve different textures and movement. You can achieve different look by changing the fractal type and noise type. To add movement to the noise, simply add a keyframe for evolution, move the playhead forward, add another keyframe, and increase the value of evolution. I will select both keyframes, copy them, and paste on the other solid layer. Change the value of evolution for second keyframe. You can see that the noise is animated. Now simply select the element as a track matte for the solid layer. Now change the blend mode to overlay. The Fractal Noise effect is incredibly versatile. You can use it for multiple visual elements, from backgrounds to special effects, enhancing the depth and complexity of your projects. The Vignette effect is a classic technique that darkens the edges of your frame to draw focus to the center. Navigate to the Effects and Presets panel, search for Vignette, and apply it with a double click. You can see that the corners are now darkened. Increase the amount to make the edges darker and the center more prominent. Here is a trick to single out a person or an object with full focus. Further increase the amount and angle of view values to create a small circle with visible area and black out rest of the screen. Let me reset the values and add keyframes for amount, angle of view and center. Move the playhead forward, press U to reveal all keyframes, and add keyframes again. Increase the amount and angle of view values, and adjust the center, position values to where you want to focus. Select all keyframes, right-click, hover over Keyframe Assistant, and select Easy Ease. Open the graph editor, select the right anchor, and drag the bar to left. The stroke effect is a dynamic tool that allows you to outline objects, text, and shapes, giving them prominence and style. Before applying the stroke effect, right-click on the text layer, hover over Create, and select Create Masks from Text. It will create a path around the text. Go to Effects and Presets, and search for Stroke, and double-click to add it. Check the All Masks box. Double-click the effect name to open the effect in Timeline panel. Change the value of N to 0 and add a keyframe for start. Move the playhead forward. Add another keyframe and change the value to 100. Change the brush size to 4 and change the color if you want. Change the paint style to On Transparent, and it will only show the animated stroke. Increase the spacing to change the solid line to dotted line. Uncheck the stroke sequentially to reveal the paths of all letters simultaneously. To create a path around an image, select the layer, go to Layer in the top menu, and select Auto Trace. Then Work Area, and hit OK. It will take some time depending on the duration of the work area you have selected, and create keyframes for the path. Now add the stroke effect to the image. Double-click the effect name to open it in the Timeline panel. The subsequent steps are the same as those we used for the text. The Tritone effect stands as a powerful tool for transforming the mood and aesthetic of your visuals. Select the layer, go to Effects and Presets, and search for Tritone effect. And apply it with a double click. This effect allows you to apply a 3-color tint to your footage, enabling you to create striking and stylized looks that can evoke different emotions or time periods. In the Tritone effect, highlights represent the brightest areas. Midtones cover the medium intensity ranges, and shadows correspond to the darkest parts of an image. You can tint each one with a different color for stylized visual effect. You can see that the midtones have changed. Each of these trio can be finely tuned to achieve the desired outcome. Whether you're looking to give your scene a warm, sunny vibe, a cool, moonlit ambience, or a vintage sepia tone, the Tritone effect offers a simple yet effective route to achieving your creative vision. Unleash the power of perspective with the corner pin effect in After Effects, transforming flat images into dynamic visuals that seamlessly integrate with 3D space. Navigate to the Effects and Presets panel, search for Corner Pin, and double-click to apply it. Adjust the image's perspective using the 4 corner points, or use the anchor points to distort the image as needed. I will position the image adjacent to the laptop's screen and adjust the corner points to fit the screen. You can also apply this effect on the text. However, if you directly apply it to the text layer, the 4 anchor points will be placed according to the composition and not the text itself. So, what you need to do is to pre-compose the text layer first. Open the new composition, center the text in the new composition. Then use the Region of Interest tool to closely select the text area, similar to cropping an image. Next, choose Crop Comp to Region of Interest from the Composition menu. Now, when you apply the corner pin effect to this text composition, the anchor points will be optimally positioned near the text. The power pin effect can achieve similar results to the corner pin, but with enhanced precision and additional features. It offers guidelines, perspective control, and an expansion option for more detailed adjustments. You will need a solid or text layer to apply the effect on. Now head to the Preset and Effects panel and search for Gradient Ramp. Double-click to add it to the layer. You can see that it has turned the solid into gradient. There are 2 anchor points for each of the color that you can use to move around the colors. You can change the start color and the end color. You can also change the shape of the ramp from linear to radial. You can also apply this effect to your text. To animate the colors, add a keyframe for the start of the ramp and end of the ramp. Then change the position of both anchor points for the colors. Now, advance the playhead and adjust both color anchor points. Head to the Effects and Presets, search for Transform, and double-click to add. The Transform effect provides a separate set of transform controls, allowing for independent manipulation without affecting the layer's inherent transform properties. Here you have an extra anchor point, which allows for independent control of the layer's anchor point, enabling you to manipulate the layer's transformations, such as rotation and scaling from a different point than the layer's original anchor. You can change position, same as transform in layer properties. It also includes skew property, which allows you to slant or shear a layer along the horizontal axis, effectively tilting the shape or text without altering its position or scale. By unchecking the Use Composition's Shutter Angle option within the Transform effect, allows you to customize the motion blur by manually setting the shutter angle, giving you control over the blur's intensity and direction. The Sampling or Anti-Aliasing option allows you to enhance the quality of the image by smoothing out jagged edges, resulting in a cleaner and more visually appealing outcome. The Wave Warp creates a variety of wave-like distortions. Head to the Effects and Presets and search for Wave Warp, double-click to apply. You can see the waves formed on the text. You have 9 different types of waves to choose from. You can change the wave height to make bigger waves. To create a nice text effect, set the value to 0. Add a keyframe, move the keyframe forward. Now move the playhead back to beginning and set the value to 100. You can experiment with different wave types and apply different transform values to create unique text effects. You can change the wave's angel. You can also adjust the pinning to designate the origin point of the wave generation. You can also change the anti-aliasing quality from low to high. Adjust the wave width to produce broader and smoother waves. The CC light sweep effect adds a dynamic highlight to a layer, simulating a light beam sweeping across the surface. Head to the effects and presets and search for CC light sweep. Double-click to add. You can see the shine added to the image. It offers controls for the sweep's direction, shape, width, and intensity, allowing for animated light effects that enhance the visual dimension and depth. You can change the shape, width, sweep intensity, edge intensity, color, and light reception. Explore the settings to see how it adds the luminosity and gleam to your image. To animate the shine effect, simply add a keyframe, change the position of the shine all the way to left, move the playhead forward, and change the position of shine all the way to the right. You can use this effect to create shine effect on logos and shiny objects. Texturize effect allows you to overlay a texture onto your video or animation. Head to the effects and presets and search for Texturize. Drag and drop it to the desired image, text, or solid. Before you see the change, you need to set the texture layer to the source you want to overlay. You can use a custom texture or choose from presets. I already imported this textured image in the composition and used it as a source. You can also change the direction of the texture and animate the light direction angle. The Venetian Blinds effect in After Effects creates a striped pattern similar to the look of Venetian Blinds over your footage. Head to the effects and presets, search for Venetian Blinds, and double-click to apply it. It allows you to animate the stripes to reveal or hide layers beneath, control the width and direction of the stripes, and adjust their feathering for softer edges. You can simply animate the blinds using keyframes and apply different settings to create some nice transitions for your footage. This effect is versatile for transitions, text reveals, and adding visual interest to graphics. The Roughen Edges effect adds a distressed or textured look to the edges of a layer. It works by distorting the alpha channel to create an irregular, jagged appearance. Head to the Effects and Preset panel and search for Roughen Edges. Double-click to apply. The effect distorts only the edges of the image, leaving the center untouched, unlike the displacement map effect that distorts the entire image. You can increase the border value, which will expand the area of the edges affected, creating a more pronounced and rugged look. By changing the edge type, you can achieve various styles, from subtly textured to dramatically eroded, tailoring the effect to match your creative vision. With the basics of the Roughen Edges effect under your belt, I encourage you to explore the settings on your own, tweak the parameters, experiment with different edge types, and see how they transform your visuals. The twirl effect in After Effects distorts an image by creating a swirling pattern around a specified center point. Head to the Effects and Preset panel and search for Twirl. Double-click to apply. By increasing the angle, you can transform text or images into mesmerizing spirals, and then you can animate them. You can increase or decrease the twirl radius, which will affect the spread of the twirl, allowing you to create either a subtle twist or a wide-ranging spiral. By changing the twirl center, you can shift the focal point of the effect, allowing for precise control over the location of the twirl. You can simply animate the twirl effect by adding keyframes and changing the angle over time to create a dynamic animation simulating a spinning motion. The ripple effect in After Effects simulates ripples spreading out from a point in a layer, much like ripples on water after a disturbance. First, create a new adjustment layer, and then head to the Effects and Preset panel and search for Ripple. Double-click to apply. Radius determines the size of the ripples, with larger values creating wider ripples that extend further from the center. Center of ripple sets the origin point from which the ripples will emanate, allowing you to position the effect precisely within your composition. Type of conversion controls how the ripples interact with the pixels in the image, affecting the distortion style. Wave speed adjusts how fast the ripples expand from the center, with higher values resulting in quicker ripple movement. Wave width sets the distance between individual ripples, with larger values increasing the space between waves. Wave height determines the amplitude of the ripples, with higher values creating more pronounced, taller waves. Ripple phase changes the phase of the ripple cycle, allowing you to offset the starting point of the ripples for timing adjustments. Start by creating a new adjustment layer, and then head to the Effects and Preset panel. Search for Rainfall, and double-click to add. Rain is simply added to the layer beneath. However, it offers numerous customization options to enhance realism and match your specific footage. You can increase or decrease the amount of drops, increase the size of the drops, speed of the rain, and add wind factor. You can also change the direction of the wind from right to left. You can adjust the spread of the drop, color, and opacity. The transfer mode determines how the rainfall layer blends with layers beneath it. By adjusting the mode, you can create varying degrees of transparency and interaction, allowing the rain to look more natural and integrated within your scene. Head to the Effects and Preset panel and search for Snowfall. Double-click to add. The snow is simply added to your footage. Most of the settings are same as the rainfall effect. Here, you have an additional wiggle effect to enhance the natural sway and descent of snowflakes, creating a more dynamic and authentic snowfall experience in your scene. The CC light rays effect generates light rays emanating from a point in your footage, creating a dramatic lighting effect. Navigate to the Effects and Presets panel, search for light rays, double-click to apply. You can see the light rays emitting from here. You can move it around using the anchor point. Intensity controls the brightness of the light rays. Center sets the origin point from which the light rays will emanate. Radius determines the area around the center point that the light rays will affect. Warp softness adjusts the softness of the edges of the light rays. Shape allows you to choose the shape of the light source, affecting the ray's distribution. Color from source. When enabled, the light rays inherit the color from their source point in the footage. Allow brightening permits the light rays to brighten the parts of the image they fall on. Color. If color from source is not used, this sets the color of the light rays. Transfer mode dictates how the light rays blend with the underlying footage. I will quickly explain the main use of all four effects used in color correction and manipulation. Levels allows you to fine-tune the black and white points of an image, effectively setting the darkest and lightest tones. By adjusting the input levels, you can darken or lighten the shadows, midtones, and highlights, or alter the output levels to control the intensity of the image's overall tonality. Curves. A powerful tool for color correction and contrast adjustment, Curves enables precise control over the image's tonal range. By creating a curve, you can increase contrast. Flattening the curve reduces contrast. You can also target and adjust individual color channels for more advanced color grading. Color balance. This feature is used to correct color casts and achieve color harmony in an image. You can shift the colors in the shadows, midtones, and highlights independently, allowing for balanced color adjustments across different tonal ranges without compromising the image's luminance. Hue, saturation. With this, you can make global or targeted adjustments to the hue, changing the actual color content of your image. Saturation controls the intensity of those colors, making them more vivid or more muted. Lightness affects the brightness, letting you lighten or darken the colors. This tool is essential for color correction and creating stylistic effects.